YouTube, Paul Phillips here with Patek Photography and Gear Reviews. I thought I'd take a minute and I wanted to start something new today, and that is I wanted to share with you my pocket knife collection. And before I say anything, I just want to say I'm actually a total novice when it comes to pocket knives, but I wanted to share some basic stuff with you about the knives that I have. And I also want to ask a question for any of you guys that are real experts, because I know there's a ton of people on YouTube that are right into knives and blades and all this kind of stuff. So, but I'll go through my stuff first and let you know what I've sort of discovered. And then my question is, recently I picked up the Schrade Timer from Walmart for $9. And I guess for the last couple of weeks this has been my everyday carry knife, and the only issue I had with it is that it's an inexpensive knife, but for the price I paid for it, I can't believe the quality of it. I mean, the two pins that allow you to open the knife I had a bit of an issue with, because the pins actually stop about halfway through the clip. So when you're shoving it into your pocket, the pins get in the way. So, you know, yours truly being a techie, I got out the grinder, and the second I touched the pins to the grinder, they just blew apart because they were hollow. So I solved that issue with, I drilled out the hole to 1/8 and I put a 1/8 inch pop rivet in there. And so now, you know, I've got a knife that I can thumb the pop rivet with, and it opens the blade. But the question that I wanted to put to you knife guys is, I found that this for me is the perfect EDC knife. I mean, the size of it, the weight of it, the fact that it fits in my pocket, it's super thin. I mean, and it's a good little usable knife. I mean, you know, for at work, I want to cut cardboard boxes open or cut tape off of something. This has the serrations on it, so it's not just a fine edge knife. And it looks like Schrade has knocked out a bunch of the holes here to save some weight, so it's not very heavy. It has the pocket clip so that the knife will sit in your pocket. I don't tend to use that too much. I tend to just leave it in my pocket so it's totally concealed. But so for any of you that are interested in the Schrade Timer, you can pick it up at Walmart for $9. Just keep in mind that the thumb posts on, I don't know what you call it, the thumb posts or what have you, you'll probably do the same thing I did, is pull them off with a pair of pliers and put a pop rivet in it to make it a little more streamlined. But decent little knife, great edge on it, no issues, you know, so far. So I quite like it. Hopefully you guys can email me with anybody's got a better solution to this one. I've been looking at all different types of knives, trying to find out what's the best. I shoved that one out of the way for the moment. Another knife that I picked up was the Gerber, I think this is the Curve. And you can't really open this with your thumb. It's got a rubber coating on it. But this knife was designed for, if you want to carry it in your pocket, it's all rubber coated so that you don't scratch up your iPhone. And they say in the literature or their website that that's exactly what this knife is for. I'm not so thrilled about the shape of the blade. It could be a little more pointed, you know, for cutting boxes and stuff like that. But definitely it's been a handy knife, and if I got my phone in my pocket, I don't have to worry about scratching it up. So I think this knife is about, I don't know, $20. You can get it online. So it's not a bad knife from Gerber, you know, for what it is. I think the first knife that I bought from Mountain Equipment Co-op north of Toronto, this is what got me started on pocket knives, was this little Leatherman 33, I think it's a 33CX, and I like it because it's very easy to open the knife. Like, it's, you know, I don't have big hands or calluses on my thumbs or whatever, but, you know, the knife does, it does what it's supposed to do. Has a serrated edge. You know, the thumb actuator is on one side, has a nice pocket clip. It's actually a deep pocket clip here. It also has kind of a lanyard. You know, you can hook this onto your backpack, something like that. And I found this knife to be quite handy. I mean, I carried it for a long time, still quite like it. I'm actually thinking to give it to my daughter just for protection, right? Because this would be handy for a lady to be able to easily open up. The liner lock on it works fairly well, so no complaints. And I bought, I think the first one of these I bought, it was 15 bucks, and now you can get them anywhere for 20 bucks. I think mine was on sale, but this knife, it works really well. And it has a nice, you know, tapered point on it, so quite like this knife. Yeah, so now recently, what's really kind of opened my eyes is that another knife that I purchased, I think this was this was the first Gerber knife that I purchased, and this is a Gerber Swagger. And it's a nice, you know, narrow profile. It's a liner lock. The first one I had, when I went to operate the liner lock, I couldn't move it. I mean, I had to jam a screwdriver in here to move it. And from what I understand from the YouTubers, you know, some of Gerber's quality, I guess some of these knives are being made in China now, I'm not sure, but so I had to go actually get another one. And I actually bought the Swagger AO as well. So this is not the AO. So the AO is pretty much the same size and weight and everything, but it's a little wider to accommodate the AO mechanism. But that knife, the AO, I wouldn't recommend it because it is so hard to open that damn thing. Oh my God. But this knife, the Swagger non-AO, this copy of it seems to work fairly well. But it's not, you know, when I go to flick it open, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have the smoothest action. And, you know, I'm an ex-car mechanic, so the first thing I do with any knife I buy is I put a drop of oil on a mechanism here to oil it up and make it work properly. But I'm still interested to hear from you guys that are real knife enthusiasts. I mean, you give me any advice on these things, I really appreciate it. Now, what's nice about the Swagger is that, you know, for a medium-sized hand like mine, this thing fits and feels pretty good. But this knife was, I think I paid probably 35 bucks for it, something like that. Cuts well, you know, it'll do the chores, around the house chores or around the office chores really well, but, you know, I can't really take this to the office. Somebody gonna sees me with this and they're gonna call the police, right? So, but around the house, no problem. Or if I, you know, as a photographer, you've seen the channel, right? I mean, I rarely go anywhere without having a knife in my backpack, in my car, but I'm new at it. So I've been looking at different knives that might be a better choice than this thing. I just like, you know, if you buy something, it's like when I do my camera reviews. If the manufacturer says it's going to do something, I think it should do it. And it should work really well. And this thing, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be 100% for me. So, but anyways. So, last week, I was shopping in Canadian Tire. So if you're in the U.S., you probably don't have Canadian Tire down there, but it's Canada's version of Walmart as far as I'm concerned. They've been around for years. But I picked up 2 knives from Canadian Tire, super inexpensive. Like, oh my God, this one here is called Team Primos, and this is a Schrade. It's a fine edge blade. I purchased this thing for 19 bucks. And honest to God, this thing for 19 bucks, I prefer it over the Gerber Swagger. I mean, because it has a better action. The liner lock works. It's easy to use. Just everything about the knife. I like the orange color. So, you know, in a black camera bag or in your car at night, this thing stands out like a sore you know what. It has the lanyard loop on the back here. And usually I can get it to pop open. It just has a better feel in the hand, for I guess for my size hand, than I guess maybe the Swagger. Like the Swagger, if I put these two side by side, the blade lengths are almost identical, but the handle is a little beefier. So, you know, it is what it is, right? Like, I think knives are like anything else, right? You just keep playing around until you find the one that you like. But, so, I mean, if I was comparing the Swagger to the Team Primos and looking at the price and the way they work, I mean, this is the knife to buy. The value for the money is fantastic. And then, I found this other knife, and this is a Schrade Extreme Survival, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is what they call a tanto blade, and this is an aluminum frame. So, you know, I bought this one simply because I was blown away by how lightweight it is, even compared to this one. So, what I learned about the tanto blade is that if you're opening bubble pack, like is everywhere these days, anything you buy, everything comes in bubble pack. This tanto blade really just slides it open like, oh my God, I thought I died and gone to heaven. So now I know I have a use for the tanto blade. And this knife works pretty well also. It flips open fairly easily. And yeah, I get it. I'm not an idiot. I realize that a knife like this that I paid, I think $17 for, compared to, say, the Benchmade Griptilian. I mean, obviously the Griptilian should be buttery smooth when you open it, but I guess the message that I'm trying to convey is for $17, I'm just blown away by the quality of some of the pocket knives you can get these days. Now, one thing I don't like about this knife is that, you know, the pant clip, this knife is going to ride out of your pocket by about yay much. But other than that, I mean, for $17, holy cow. Plus it has the serrated edge on it for doing cardboard box cutting. So that's my first experience over the last couple of months with pocket knives. And I'm definitely going to keep going. I mean, I'm really interested in the Benchmade Griptilian. I think I'd like to get one of those. But my number one question for you guys is if you can make any recommendations for a best EDC carry knife, and just to, you know, so that, here, maybe the best knife to compare it to would be the Gerber Swagger. When you look at the length of the blade, it's probably, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch shorter than the Swagger. But it's still, you know, for taking it to the office, nobody even knows I have it on me. The action on the thing is pretty good. I mean, ergonomics I think is not the greatest, because when you look at the actuator here, it probably should be up a little bit so that it lines up more with your thumb. But still, I mean, I can snap the thing open fairly easily. And it's just a really lightweight, you know, nice little EDC pocket knife. So this is the Schrade Timer. And again, anybody have any tips or advice on, you know, you got a recommendation for a nice lightweight? Ideally what I'd like is something that just opens like so easy. You know, even if you could just press the button and the knife pops open. But I don't know if there's anything at this size that would work like that. But anyways, I hope this, you know, helps somebody out there looking for pocket knives. Maybe, you know, you experts are probably going to laugh at my experience. But I'd be really interested to hear what you guys have to say. And if you can make any recommendations for something that's as good or better than this little timer thing, I'm all ears. So thanks again for watching. And I probably will come back and let you know about my future escapades into the world of blades and knives and everything else. I do have a Leatherman Raptor, so I may do a review on that. But thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe and like us. All right, bye.